of another human being, where you can easily take the life of another person like that. I mean, without feeling anything, you just shoot somebody. You don't care whether... This is a man who had come, he was literally carrying face masks, meaning he was hustling, trying to see whether he can get something, probably to take to his family at home in the evening. And you shoot him and walk away as though you are Bruce Lee or something like that. It is, I don't know what is in the minds of the people today. I always say this, that life is spiritual. They're disembodied beings that are walking among us, and they're seeking to express themselves through anyone who will allow them. These spirits that don't have bodies, they're demons, and they walk among us. So any opportunity, at times when you see this kind of things, this is somebody who allowed a spirit to express itself through him. Because these spirits, they're like their king. They come to steal, kill, and destroy. And any opportunity they get, they'll express it through you. So don't let them. And yesterday, quite a number of those spirits were in town, with goons violently disrupting peaceful demonstration in Nairobi Central Business District, turning a protest seeking justice for blogger Albert Ojwang, who died in police custody last week, into chaos. The demonstration, which began peacefully at around 10 a.m., drew dozens of supporters who are demanding accountability over Ojwang's mysterious death at the hand of the police. According to witnesses and activists at the scene, masked goons riding borders stormed the demonstration, brandishing crude weapons and attacking peaceful protesters. Several people were robbed of their mobile phones, cash, and other personal belongings, while law enforcement officers allegedly stood by without intervening. It's a very unfortunate situation that happened, but as I said, the politics of this country are being made to look like it's a do or die situation. It is not. And who knows, even some of the top guys, people who think there will be presidents in this country in 2027 may not be there in 2027 because all this is dependent on God. Why in the world would you go around beating people in the CBD? I saw a man being beaten down and having his stuff stolen by these rude, riotous criminals that had been hired to come and just mess up the CBD. It's a very unfortunate situation because that's somebody's father and you beat him up. Anyway, what goes round comes round. Something will happen. God is seated on the throne and you can be very sure that it didn't go unnoticed. Now, with a group of Mombasa-based human rights activists now accusing the police of unlawfully obstructing their right to peacefully demonstrate as guaranteed under Article 37 of the Kenyan Constitution. The group had intended to hold a protest demanding justice for the late Albert Ojwang, whose death raised public outcry. Speaking outside the Independent Policing Oversight Authority offices, or IPOA offices, Haki Africa Rapid Response Officer Walid Sketi said he personally delivered a formal notification to the officer commanding station at Central Police Station in line with the Public Order Management Act. Despite fulfilling the legal requirement of serving notice at least 3 days in advance, Sketi said the OCS refused to receive or acknowledge the notification.
We want to go and report to the police station. Lagat must be arrested. Eliud Lagat must be arrested. Nobody's above the law. Yeah. He killed Ojwang. He killed Ojwang. What am I doing?
Albert was not safe in a police car. Why do you want to put us in a police car?
We can walk peacefully.
We can walk peacefully. And we will walk there.
We can walk. Yeah.
Today, we have security officers that have condoned, barricaded the venue that we were supposed to initiate and begin our peaceful demonstration calling for justice for the late Albert Ojwang. We are here today to beseech you and uphold the Constitution that the security apparatus are trying to subvert. We want to go with you to the said venue so that you can see how security officers react, how they brutally encounter us when we want to conduct constitutional and legal mandates that we, the people, formulated and passed into law. So here is a copy of the notification that we took to the OCS. I personally went there. There is a CCTV at Central Police Station. The OCS was there on that day, and he openly told me that he cannot approve.
So ofisi yetu ya Mombasa itafuatilia hili jambo kuona mbona polisi wamekataa nyinyi msiandamane ili hali ni haki yenu, na kama wamedecline, it should be in written communication that these are the reasons as to why we are not allowing you to go ahead and do the demonstrations.
Still on the same, Suba North Member of Parliament Millie Odhiambo called on police to exercise restraint as they confront protesters following the shooting of a young mask vendor in town. While making her remarks in Parliament, Millie said that she had received reports which EBN TV cannot independently verify that the man hails from Homa Bay County.
Madam Speaker, it would be careless on my part if I don't say that I've just learned that actually the young man that I'm talking about, I'm being told, is again from Homa Bay, and from Suba. Madam Speaker, that is why we must always stand on principle. Can you imagine if I was speaking here carelessly, saying how it is nice for police to kill people? But I have said the police need to restrain themselves without knowing that this is a person from Suba. Madam Speaker, I want to repeat, it does not matter, and he was selling masks because people are demonstrating. I've actually watched that clip. It is totally reckless and irresponsible what that police officer has done, and they are doing a disservice to this government, because when you make 5 steps forward or 10 steps forward, they take you 50 back. And we need to be moving forward as a country. We can't be moving back all the time. What do I go and tell the Suba people, honestly? I don't know if it's from Suba North or Suba South, but whichever is from Suba. It is unfortunate. And from Homa Bay, we are tired of mourning. We are dying of natural causes. Even yesterday, I lost my nursery school teacher at Which. Today, again, we are from the police. Let us die of natural. Let us die of natural causes, not being killed. Homa Bay, please.
Well, this as Kiharu Member of Parliament Dindi Nyoro castigated the government over the rising cases of extrajudicial killing, saying the lives of Kenyans must be respected. Nyoro says the right to protest is protected under Article 37 of the Constitution and give their voice about the conduct of public officers. Nyoro has called on the political class to exercise restraint and to tolerate criticism, especially when holding public offices.
The lives of Kenyans is sacrosanct. And as a leader, either elected or appointed in any position of government, it is the right of Kenyans to give their voice about the conduct of your office. They may criticize you because you are in a public office. It is despicable ya kwamba Mkenya anatoa malalamishi ati kurudisha mkono serikali inaondoa maisha ya huyo Mkenya. It is diabolical. It is very wrong. Na tunasema hawa watu wote, watu ambao wako kwa positions ya uongozi, we must respect the lives of Kenyans. Na hii mambo ya kutisha wa Kenya lazima ikome. It has to come to an end. If you feel the heat is too much, you are in a government office, you don't want to be criticized. You don't want Kenyans to give your opinions about your conduct. Safari ni moja tu. Sio Mkenya atanyamaza, ni wewe utaondoka kwa hiyo kiti. And not let no one think. Wacha mtu yeyote azifikirie ati vile walikuja wanatishatisha watu kwa viti, wanaweza tisha sisi. No one, mtu asijidanganye hata siku moja. Tumeona mengi. Tutaongea mambo ya nchi na lazima tutetee wa Kenya, na hiyo sio tafadhali.
Mombasa woman representative Zamzam Mohammed echoed a call for justice over the killing of a teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang in a police station. She said that the deceased was exercising his democratic rights by expressing his opinions on the internet, which is within his constitutional rights, which is not a criminal offense. Zamzam said that what the deceased was doing was no big deal to the government, warranting his death.
Tuangalie vijana wetu. Leo, juzi na jana polisi wameua yule kijana pale. Ni haki kweli? Ni haki jamani? Vijana waachwe, manake kwenye katiba wanaruhusiwa kuzungumza, si ni kweli? Na hata pia vijana, mimi kama mama ninawaomba, yale maneno mnazungumza kwa mtandao, chujeni. Ya maneno mengine yanaweza kuwaletea mitihani. Lakini ilikuwa si sawa yule kijana kuuawa kiunyama. Mimi nakemea hicho kitendo, Albert kuuawa kiunyama. Ilikuwa ni makosa sana. Na vijana wengi saizi, hata wengine hawajapata ID. Kuna vijana wameapply ID, we have cases. Kama hata kule, kuna kijana ameshikwa kule Nyamira. Aliapply ID 2022. ID Kumbe ilitoka wakapatia wakora. Kijana anaenda tu akizunguka na ile notification. Mwisho imebidi arudi reapply ID. Akireapply wanakuja wanamwambia after 1 week ID yako ilitoka na ilifanya uhalifu mahali. Sasa kijana ambaye ni yatima, hana baba, hana mama, leo amewekwa ndani kwa cell, amewekwa kula anashtakiwa na kesi ya robbery with violence wakati hajapata ID. Ni haki kweli kina mama? Mimi namwambia Mheshimiwa Murkomen, angalia hawa watu wako. The security of this country lies in your hands. Hawa vijana ukiona wanatoka na hasira kwa sababu wanakwazika mahali. Tuangalie vijana wapate ajira, vijana wapewe mambo ya youth fund, waweze kufanya kazi wajisaidie. Mimi hiyo ndio nitasema, kwa sababu Kenya bila amani haiwezi kuwa taifa. Si ni kweli? Lazima kuwe na amani na ndio mambo yasonge haraka.
You know, as all this was happening and people going to the streets to protest over the killing of Ojwang and other people getting shot over the same, protests erupted in the Cape Karan area, Mosop constituency, Nandi County, as residents took to the street demanding the return to duty of Deputy Inspector General of Police Eliud Lagat. The embattled police boss stepped aside on Monday to allow investigations into the death of the blogger and teacher Albert Ojwang, in which he is a central figure in the ongoing case. Chanting justice songs and waving twigs, the demonstrators, comprising both the elderly and the young, marched through the estate's major and minor roads, expressing support for Lagat, whom they described as a humble and charitable man, known for his acts of kindness in the village.
Sasa tunahuzunika zaidi kwa kijana yetu ambaye tunasikia amekuwa muachi na si muachi. Hata kwa wakati ilikuwa nataka enda kuwa fata, lakini unajua sheria ya Kalenjin hatutaki kuchukua mtu mmoja ambaye alizaliwa peke yake. Mtu mmoja peke yake alizaliwa peke yake. Hatutaki mambo ya kuchochea yule mtoto ambaye hana hatia na mtu. Hata akiwa nyumbani hapa anatembea na hata wale wachokora, anatembea na wachokora.
Na uchungu sana kwa sababu namjua zaidi, nimelelewa na yeye, amelelewa kwa mazingara ya Biblia, anajua Mungu zaidi. So nataka kusema haki itendeke, maana iko kotini, na ninamtakia kila laheri. Na yote ambaye amezingiziwa tunamuombea sana kama wakazi wa Celia. Na kuna semi inasema katika lugha yetu ya kwamba hata kama panya ni mbaya aje, anatoka kwa familia ya panya.
Iwapo uchunguzi imefanywa na iwapo kama DIG mwenyewe amewekelewa hiyo maneno ya kwamba ati yeye mwenyewe ndiye amefanya, sisi wakaji wa Celia hatutakubali. Tutaenda maandamano, na ni maandamano si ati maandamano ya kufanya destruction. Tunaenda maandamano ya amani. Kwa sababu sisi wenyeji wa Celia tunajua DIG Lagat ni mtu mwenye ana maneno mingi. Kama ni mtu mwenye anakuja anatembea anasalamia kila mtu, yeye hawezi fanya mauaji. Ni mtu mwenye anaenda kanisa kila siku, ni mtu mwenye hata alikuwa anafaa kuwa father.
So the creation of the Nandis, we have confidence with the government which will carry the investigation and it will conclude, and we know it will not take the wrong direction. We trust on the judiciary. We trust on the judiciary. So we don't need any unnecessary like we are not activists, we are Nandis, and we don't like anything that is malicious. Eliud is a very competent man. Yes. He's a very intelligent man. Yes. He's the most trained person in that force. Yes. That is why they are trying to undermine the man, because they know the president respects this man and admires the man.
All right? Let's take a look at what the Daily say concerning yesterday. We start off with the Daily Nation, and the headlines read, Anarchy. Anarchy. You'll have that page on your screen right now. Troubling partnership between police and gangs revealed in a day of chaos. And then it says that goons unleash terror, gangs armed with crude weapons wage war on peaceful protesters, attack and rob Kenyans as police officers watch. Face mask vendor shot in the head at close range by uniformed police officer, yet another case of police brutality. Then we have business showdown, a day of missed sales for traders. I mean, it was just a messed up day. Really, really messed up. Troubling ties between, and when these guys were doing all this, police were backing them, as in they were working together with the police. There are pictures of police officers in the midst of the gangs who are wielding those huge rungus, going around causing terror, stealing, breaking into shops, robbing people, and the police are right in there with them. And that's a bad picture, I must say. That's a really bad picture. And then we have on the third page, you have the picture of the gentleman, the protesters taking the vendor who was identified as Ali to hospital along Moi Avenue in Nairobi yesterday. He was shot by a police officer, and so he was taken to Kenyatta National Hospital, and you can see blood all over his face, with the demonstrators showing the bullets, what you call the casings of the bullets that were used to shoot him. Then you have a very sad picture of a motorcycle rider ferrying a man who was injured during a protest over the death of the teacher cum blogger Albert Ojwang in police custody. I mean, this guy has been hit, he's bleeding, he's on a motorcycle being taken. And then a suspect was attacked by protesters yesterday. This guy, the guy who was beaten up yesterday, he was part of the gang that had come into the CBD to disrupt the protest, carrying or wielding the rungus. And those rungus were used on him, and he was taken to hospital in a critical condition. Traders in Nairobi CBD closed businesses early, fearing looting. And 4 arrested in Mombasa as police scattered demos. And then day of anarchy in pictures. Wait. You need to buy this and see this. As protesters attacked by goons. You have a guy who's being beaten senseless. It's just crazy. It's just madness. It is just madness. Then you have Moi University on the spot of a retrenchment mode. Then the back page of the Nation, knock, election loom lurge again. And so to the disputes. Now the Star newspaper on its front page has cops plunge Ruto into fresh crisis. Alice is going to put that page on your screen. Masked policeman shoot mask seller. Masked policeman shoots mask seller in the head at close range. You have it in picture. Then Isiolo, more malaria fears as Indian mosquito now spreads. Indian mosquito. You know that? Indian mosquito, so does it kajikiji when it attacks you. It's a mosquito that is predominantly found in India. It's not an Indian mosquito. Yeah? Oh, a protester shot in the eye during yesterday's protest in Nairobi CBD. Hey. MPs block KRA bid to access personal data to raise revenue. I completely agree with this. KRA was seeking to access all your information, your phone data, everything, as in you, including your emails. And I'm so glad the members of parliament blocked this. I am so glad they did. The back page, KPL changes await. FKF seek return to 16-team top tier league effective 2026-2027. Then we look at the Standard newspaper. The Standard newspaper, the headlines scream, "Killer Police." And then the caption there is, "He came to sell masks but left with a bullet through his head. Boniface Karaoke thought he'd cashed in on the protest day by hawking face masks. But a rogue police officer shattered that hope with a shot to the skull. He's fighting a struggle that if he pulls through, life will never be the same again for him." Now, as thugs looted shops unchecked and police looked the other way, Boniface lay bleeding on the pavement. Now listen to this. His friends' cry, there was a lady there who was crying, still haunts the chaos. Because this lady was screaming, shouting, what will his mother, his wife, and children be told? I think we should take that police officer, lock him in a room, have that video play, and have the cries of that mother, of that lady, played in that room so loud. Because you don't shoot, and at least the Standard newspaper shows his face. It shows his face. Shame on this guy. Really shame on this guy. If he has a girlfriend, dump him. If he can do this to somebody else, don't wait to know what he will do to you. Because if he can do this to somebody else, he will do this to you. I promise you. 1 year later, traders struggle to rebuild after chaotic protests. And then you have on page 3, a chaotic scene as people try to run away from the goons within the CBD. Then you have a motorcycle of one of the goons who had come ferrying this rungu-wielding thugs, basically was caught up and was set on fire. And then it's just messed up. There's a mobile shop that was looted during the protest over this is just. And then page 4 says, they're not hiding. They say, state unleashes armed goons to beat protesters and rob businesses. This even as Ojwang's family now demand that the DIG and other officers be charged. Hawker shot as goons infiltrate protests in the city. This is crazy, but it was happening yesterday in our city. It was happening in our city. Officers sued for killing protesters to remain in police cell. And then the back page, empty seats as Chelsea beat Los Angeles at FIFA Club World Cup. All right. Well, that's what we have for the dailies today. In a couple of minutes, you know, When all these things are happening, so there are so many things that you need to do to protect your heart. Because the scripture says, guard your heart with all your might. For out of it are the issues of life, or are the boundaries, the issues, all the issues we are seeing are coming from people's hearts. The killing of Ojwang was an issue that came from somebody's heart. And it's placed boundaries, so many boundaries in people's lives. So how do you guard your heart? Because it's so easy to become bitter at a time like this. We need to garrison our hearts so that we don't allow all these toxic things happening in this country to find a way into our hearts and to defile us. How do you guard your heart? Today is a Wednesday, and you know what we do every Wednesday? It's a Mindset Wednesday, and we'll be having that conversation shortly.